This is to show you how quick and easy it is to model with bar box. First, let me make some changes in the beam view settings. So I will select the view template. So here I'm going to label my beams by grid and make some quick change in the prefix for the sheet title naming. So I'm going to, because I'm using the grid naming for my beam reinforcement details, change that to other grid lines and I'll save. Then click OK. Okay, so I hit it off and then I go to create rebar, select beam rebar, select a beam on level 1. And because it's the first time of creating the rebar, it automatically create a mask for it. So the detail box pops up and I populate the parameters for both the longitudinal and the transverse rebar, i.e. the stirrups. So the stirrup you have the chance to set the external and internal hooks. So you navigate through the various spans with the next and the previous buttons, and then at the selected span you set the parameters and then you click on the create rebar. It's easy and very fast and convenient. When you're done, you can make the option of creating a detailed view, either using the left, middle, or the right for each span. And then the right, so if you click close and you have your beam reinforcement move into a 3D view, then I use the rebar display. Then I make the reinforcement that was created visible and then show. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to populate, but here I'll select the element and I'll go to the property palette and then select the detail type. Once I select it, so then it's all populated. That it's easy and very fast and very convenient. And as you can see, the population, the host is being populated. Now with the same. Now when it's finished, it tells you that now I'm going to create a different type on the next level. So here I'm going to say single type. All right. So now once I select, now it is going to do biometry geometry verification for the two selected if it can be grouped. Now if it can be grouped, then it's going to give it a single detail type, different detail type. Now every detail type that is created also generates a view with appropriate naming sequence as it has been set in the beam view settings, right? So as we move forward, you see how the naming is done. So as you can see, the two elements that were selected are being populated, but then a different detail type has been created. As you can see, two detail types. So now I'll go to the browser, then open the newly created a view detail type with the appropriate naming as you can see on screen. It is quite easy and then very fast. Now I'll do a similar one. Now here I'm going to go through the rudimentary reinforcement creation by that selecting the create rebar from the button. Then I'll populate. Yeah, the population is a bit different. The inputs are different. So I'll do this and set all my stereo parameters. and create. It is easy, and very simple tools just to aid the automation of rebar modeling and detailing. Um, okay, so now I'm using the previous button to navigate back to the second spot and then create. So as you can see in the screen, in the section one has been created. That is, and now when it is closed, the appropriate naming. Okay, right. So that is the name for the view, right? So that is the active view. Okay, so let me use the rebar display to show the newly created rebars. All right, now then using the populate tool, I select the created one, then go to typical. I don't want it to do any geometry verification so that the population can be faster. Um, so you wait and it gets populated. Simple. Okay, so once you're done and then you want to populate to the next level, I mean, you just use a populate toolbar and then you use a single type. Depending on what you're doing, you can either use multiple types. Here I select that and the ends, the ends are the same, but then because they are going on a different level and for scheduling reasons, may probably want to schedule at all levels. Now, one thing is for every reinforcement that is created, the level that is the level of the hosts is assigned to all the rebars. Detail types are assigned to the rebars, for easy filtering for schedules. So it's quite easy and it makes working very fast. And yeah, so here our rebar has been completed. That's telling us to number of that detail type has been created with its appropriate view and their names. Yes, so as you can see, so that is it. It's so fast and so easy to use. Uh, the other thing which I will show is the ability to for reinforcement to regenerate from the sections of the element changes. So here I'm still doing the population, and then by this is populate and create a different detail type, right? So you can create a typical arrangement. No, typical arrangement means that the same detail type name will be associated with newly created bars, and then for the different detail types, that is where we have the option to choose single type or multiple types. Now for the multiple types, what it does is when you select uh, hosts that are of varying sections. Now for the varying sections, the geometry verification is done and it's able to determine that these sections are not the same, the spans are not the same, right? And as such different types needs to be created. Okay, so here let's try and see if we can make a change true. Um, right, I think this change might not work well. Uh, let's wait and see if it's going to. Okay, so I think that the reverse shape could not be defined, so we just cancel and maintain our existing shapes. Probably later, we will show you how to navigate around such bottlenecks. Right, so let's do for the middle segment. Okay, so here we're going to do a single different type because they are in the middle sections. Okay, so we create a different type. Now all the detail types that are being created also comes with associated views, which are properly named as you've, and the naming sequence is actually based on the settings that you've made at the beam view settings section. So using bar box, you can create standard naming sequences, either for view naming, for element naming, and you do all that, and the program is going to use that in the project. And then these settings are reusable. I mean, once you save them on your machine, at any point in time, you can go back and then use that. Okay, now our propagation or population of reinforcement has been completed. Okay, so now the other option. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to select using the quick select to select all the connecting elements because I want to change the section size of this particular. Okay, so once I change the section size, now as you can see. All the reinforcements have been deleted, and all the elements that associated detail types will be regenerated, as you can see on the screen, right? So that regeneration comes with the appropriate annotation and callouts of that particular detail type. Now, it makes it so easy and convenient, where you don't have to go back to do all tag and dimension, and it's that fast and simple. Yeah. So in the whole, that is bar box, and then that is how fast it is to work with. And you see that just a little effort, and you have. So once you have a working template, you can assign those templates in the view settings, such that when you create a reinforcement detail type, and then once you check the detailing types and the crank options, all the labs are properly shown. Okay, so in brief, that is bar box. Thank you.